So let's start with the variables. Let's start with the variables. So can someone tell me what the variable is? Can someone tell me what is a variable? Yeah. So variables are nothing but reserved memory location to store the values. This means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in a memory. So based on the data type of a variable, the interpreter allocates memory and decides what can be stored in that reserved memory. Therefore, by assigning different data types to variables, you can store integers, decimals, characters, strings, or something else. So how do you assign variables in Python? In Python, variables do not need explicit declaration to reserve a memory space. The declaration automatically happens when you assign a value to a variable. The equal to sign is used to assign values to the variable. For example, if you take count is equal to 0, miles is equal to 1000, name is equal to smart bridge. So here you are using an equal to operator and you are assigning a variable, assigning a value to it. So here count is a variable, miles is a variable, and name is a variable. So now here, let's suppose this is 100, let's take this is 100. Okay. So now tell me what is the data type of count, what is the miles, data type of miles, and what is the data type of name. So I would like to print so whenever you execute this, it is printing 100,000.0 and smart bridge. Yes or no? So now here we have not assigned any data types to this. Did I assign any data type to this? No. Now let's see what is the data type that is being assigned to count, miles, and name by the interpreter. So to check the data type, you have a function called type, type of count. Just click on shift enter. So it says it is an integer. So count is an integer. Then type of miles. Sorry. Type of miles is a float. Why it is float? Because you have some sort of decimal points to that. Let's see the type of name. Type of name. Execute this. It is a string. So even though you didn't allocate any data type, the interpreter has interpreted count as integer, miles as float, and string as name as string. So from this you can say that Python is an the dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. You can also define variables at a time. For example, a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20.5 comma Pradipti. 10 comma 20 comma 20.5 comma Pradipti. Now a is associated to 10, b is associated to 20.5, c is associated to Pradipti. Right? A is an integer, b is a float, and c is a string. Now let's print these values. So I already have used print statement over here, right? So whenever I use print statement, it is printing separately, but I want to print all the values at a time. So how can I use that? How can I use this print statement? How can I use the print statement to print all the variables? Any one of you know? Does any one of you know this? It's just print a comma b comma c. Just execute this. Now I got all the values like this, but I want to print with some sort of strings. For suppose like print the value of a is, the value of b is, the value of c is. How can I print? You can print that in three ways. What is the first way? Print. You can use string concatenation. String concatenation. What is that string concatenation? I show you now. So print the value of a is plus str of a plus the value of b is plus str of b comma comma plus the value of c is plus str of c. So this is called as string concatenation. So here 10 is also acting like a string, 20.5 is acting like a string, and c is also acting like a string. So this is how you can type the whole things in a single statement. What is another way? Print a comma a comma a, value of b comma b, value of c comma c. This is in so this is how you will be printing in another form. And you can also use format specifiers for printing the values. How can you use it? The value of A is percentile D, comma, value of, comma, value of B is percentile F, comma, value of C is percentile S, comma, percentile A, comma, B, comma, C. So this is another way of writing the. So this is another way of printing the statement with format specifiers. All right. Then I have another format also, which is called as format. So can you say how to use format? Can someone know how to use format to print the print statements? No, Harita, I just said format function. Format function. Yes. So Senthil gave me. So how do you use format? Print the value of A is, comma, value of B is value of C is dot format of A, comma, B, comma, C. So this is how you can use. I've already shown this format specifier, right? Format specifier. So this is how you can print with the help of format function. So this is how you will be using the basic syntax and variables of the Python.